Discipline is more important than motivation. Yeah. You know, something most of us eventually realize the hard way is motivation is not reliable. It comes and goes. Some days you feel excited, inspired, ready to take over the world. Other days you feel tired, distracted, unbothered, and completely unmotivated to do anything meaningful. And that is normal. Okay? But the problem now is many of us are building our lives on something that is not stable because if your success depends on how you or let me say on how motivated you feel, then your success will always be inconsistent. That is why discipline matters more. Discipline is what you do when motivation is gone. It is showing up when you don't feel like it. It is continuing when nobody is watching. It is staying consistent when progress feels slow or invisible. And honestly, that is where real success is built. Not in the motivated moment, but in the ordinary ones when nobody feels like doing the work but still does it anyway. And I think most of us misunderstand motivation because it gives emotional energy, but it does not give structure. It excites you, but it does not sustain you. So we get inspired, we start something new, post about it, talk about it, plan it. But after a short time, when the emotion fades, everything stops. And we call it lack of luck or timing. When in reality, it's lack of discipline. And another uncomfortable truth is that discipline is boring. It does always feel exciting. It does not always feel rewarding immediately. Sometimes it feels repetitive, sometimes it feels slow, sometimes it feels like nothing is happening. But that is exactly how real growth works. Quiet repetition over time, because anything valuable in life usually takes consistency before result shows up. And I also think social media made motivation addiction worse. People consume motivational content all time, but never build discipline habits behind it. So we feel inspired repeatedly, but remain stuck in the same place because inspiration without an action is just emotional entertainment. It feels good in the moment, but it does not change outcomes. And honestly, discipline is what separates people who dream from people who achieve because two people can have the same goal, same opportunity, same talent, same environment, but the one who is disciplined will always end up ahead over time. Not because they are more talented, but because they are more consistent. Okay, another important thing again is that discipline also builds identity. Yes, over time you stop relying on feelings to act. You become someone who truly simply does what needs to be done regardless of mood. And that identity shift is powerful because once discipline becomes part of who you are, progress becomes more stable. You don't need consistent motivation anymore to function properly. You just move, you just act, you just continue. And that consistency builds results that motivation alone can never sustain. I also think many of us underestimate how much discipline affects every area of life. Not just work or money, but health, relationship, mindset, habits, emotional control, and long term direction. Because lack of discipline does not only show up in big failures, it shows up in small daily decisions that slowly shape your entire future. Skipping small tasks, delaying important actions, giving up easily, avoiding discomfort. All of those things compound over time and eventually they become the difference between growth and stagnation. So yes, motivation can start something, but it cannot finish it. It can push you for a moment, but it cannot carry you through seasons. Only discipline does that. And that's why people who rely on motivation alone often struggle to stay consistent. Why people who build discipline steadily curate long-term results, even when they don't feel like it. Because in real life, success is not about how excited you are to start. It's about how consistent you are when the excitement disappears. Motivation starts the journey, but discipline finishes it.